Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to check how we are going to reverse the given string, or how we are going to check whether the given string is a palindrome or not manually. Okay, so we are checking it for the palindrome. So let's suppose if user provides you input. As of now, let's say it is Sadashiv. Okay, okay. So now what will happen is it will be stored like this, like on 0 index 1, then on 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. S A D A S H I, and on 7 V. So basically what logic we use is only two possible ways of your string is, first is it's even in length, but obviously other will be odd in length. Okay, so if it is even, then it don't have the any center point. So as in our case, if you try to figure out the center point of this, you won't get it, right? So these two will become the center points. So in that case, to find out whether it is a palindrome or not, what we will do, we'll check the first one with the last one. So now whether these two are same, no. So you'll simply return false, because if the first and last is not same, then it is never going to be the palindrome, right? So you'll simply return the false. So now let's check another example. I will take one example which will be giving you the output as a palindrome. Now in this case, so let's check. Let's say your input is. I will take one long one also. M A D B B D A M. So now in this case, M A D B, again B D A M. Okay, so this will be 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7. I think have I missed anything? MADBBDAM. Okay, so now let's start with the things following. So this is going to be the our initial value that we are using for the loop. How many times we have to iterate the loop? Basically, if you see how many times the comparison is going to be. This is the first comparison. This is the second one, third one, and the fourth one. What is the length? 8. So if you see 8 by 2 is 4. Okay, now that was for the even. Now let's suppose if it is odd, I'm writing it bit forward. So in this case, how many comparisons are there? 1 and 2. Anyhow, the center one need not to be compared with any other characters. So how many comparisons are there? 2. What is the length? 5. 5 divided by 2 is what? 2.5. But as it is integer, 0.5 will be ignored. So can we say we have to iterate the loop how many times? Whatever the length, divide it by 2. So we can say loop is going to be like for. So I will add up another page here, and in that page I will write the loop for integer, as I am starting with initial index, that is I equal to 0. How many times I am going to iterate it? Simply writing it as, let's suppose str is my string, so length function divided by 2, and I am increasing the I value. Okay, now coming to the page here, if I have compared, right? So next time, what basically what we are comparing, we are comparing the characters. So first character is at 0 index, so I can simply say str dot character at I, because initially if you check here I can say initially my I value is what, 0. So I will simply say if str dot character at I is equal to str dot character at. Okay, now with which we are checking, with 7. So how I am going to get the 7? If you remember, the string length is what, 8, and 8 minus 1 is what, 7, right? So last index basically we give length minus 1, that is what we are using. So I will say here str dot length function minus 1. Okay, if these are equal, that means we have to check further. But what if it is not equal? If it is not equal, then we will say, I will simply write it as a not a palindrome. So we'll see here not a palindrome. Okay, it is not a palindrome. That's it. Now that one is fine, but if it is equal, then I value will be 1 automatically, because we are using, at the end we are using I plus plus. What about this? What about this? How we are going to get it as a 6? So from 7, here if I am moving forward, for moving forward I plus plus is working. But for moving from here backward side, we don't have I minus minus, right? So what we will do is, we will write here minus I, so that I will be moving from backward also. Okay, so now it will become 6. It will check again. If it is fine, then it will go ahead. If it is fine, it will go ahead. Now just, can anybody tell me, is there any possible way to come out only if this condition becomes wrong? Here if I am writing something, I will come here only if this condition becomes wrong, right? And if this condition becoming wrong, that means all the characters are checked, right? And they are equal. If all the characters are checked and they are equal, that means your string is what? Palindrome. Your string is what? Palindrome. So outside the loop, if we are coming, we can simply write it is not a palindrome. If you are using function by return statement, you can write it. But if you are simply writing it as a function in a main function, then you can't write like, right? Because after this also it can come, like after executing this not palindrome, it can come out of the for loop. If it is having the return statement here, then only you have to write it over here as a not a palindrome. Okay, in my video I have used the function to check whether it is palindrome or not. That's why it will work fine. Okay, thank you everyone, thanks for watching. Please do like, share and subscribe to the channel.